If you're new here and you haven't seen my channel before, welcome. Go ahead and consider subscribing to my channel. If you are not new here, you've been here before, you've been to my channel before, welcome back. And hope you'll enjoy what we're going to be discussing today. Okay, so we're now in mid-year. We're now hitting June. We've had 6 months of a lot of surprising things happening in the global uh, reality. A lot of things, a lot of exclosures, a lot of violence, a lot of wars, a lot of conflicts. Our economies globally are in a mess. There's war, what they call it, oil wars between Iran and America. Iran closing the ports of the imports of oil globally. So the price of oil increase. Prices of oil increases, that means that everything else will just increase. The production costs also begin to increase as well, because your basic element that you're using for any production is now expensive and scarce, and it affects your prices of your production because everything goes up in price. And then people lose jobs as well, because organizations tend to kind of limit the number of employees when it comes to economical hardships. Not only people or homes have been affected globally, but also corporations and companies that employ people, because they're trying to find ways of saving cost. So now it's 2026, and we've been promised that this year spiritually is going to be a very emotionally charged year, because a lot of things are going to be exposed, a lot of things are going to be also happening and changing on a global scale. Right? Things like surges of xenophobia, which is just basically based on fear of, for example, foreigners, people that you don't know. In times of scarcity, people feel there's competition for everything. In times of hardship, people feel they need to struggle and fight for what they have to survive. So, xenophobia is a global problem, not only based in Africa or Southern Africa, may I say, although xenophobia can be very, very, very violent. It can trigger a lot of emotions, and people get violent and start hurting other people because they feel under attack. Basically, scarcity is really not a good thing at all. Scarcity is a feeling that I cannot survive, and now I need to find somebody to blame for my current situation. So I'll point to a soft target, somebody that I can see with my eyes here, who's not from my country, not from my nationality. So that person is now attacking my survival or my means to survive. That's what it's all about. Xenophobia is based on fear of the unknown, fear of the other person that you deem to be your enemy. Now, crime. Crime is another animal altogether. Crime and corruption in most African countries is very, very rife. Very, very rife, because of the system and the governments in place in Africa, all over Africa. Go to Congo, go to any African country, go to Zimbabwe, you go to Mozambique, go to Malawi, you will find corruption and crime. They go hand in hand, they are sisters. Now, where there's corruption and crime, there is scarcity. There is a huge amount of people that are living in lack. They are struggling economically. Now, politics is spiritual. The reason why I'm saying that is that anything involving people is very, very spiritual. Politics involves people in authority making decisions for the people. They don't even know, they don't know these people, but they're making decisions on behalf of those people because of the democratic voting system. Now, we all know that whole voting system is flawed. It's based on a lot of things that people who vote don't know. They don't see the back end of politics and voting system. Now, every party needs to have an agenda. We need to have an agenda to say, well, this is how I'm going to target my collective's emotions so they can vote for me. Poverty is one of the biggest things in Africa, okay, and maybe in Southern Africa, is it Asia, and also in is it South America as well, where there is lack of resources and disenfranchised populations that causes a lot of poverty. And yet, if you look at the history of so-called poverty in third world countries on a global scale, it all started in 1884, may I say. Yeah, in 1884 to 1885, when Otto Bismarck and his friends get together in a Berlin conference to decide that they're going to divide these undeveloped countries, namely Africa, and take resources for their own industrial revolution that was going on at that time.